Hey guys, 5 juice reviews for you today, and they're from this American-based company called Hybrid Creations Eliquid. The 5 juices are Blue Magic, Ocean Crave, Tropic Freeze, Xenomorph, and Apple Pucker. Now you can pick one of these guys up at giantvapes.com, which is spelled as GIANTVAPES.com, and they go for $12 for a 15 ml and $20 for a 30 ml bottle. So all these juices that I have, if I'm not wrong, are of a 50-50 PG-VG blend, and they are of 12 milligrams. So let's first start off with Apple Pucker. Now, Apple Pucker is described on the website as another natural fruit flavor with a subtle hint of sour in it. They are take to a apple teeny. So I currently have mine in my sinuses with a 0.8 ohms coil and 3 to 5 straw mash. So here goes. So you get great clouds of this e-liquid. Now I tried all these juices on both a high wattage setup, like my Genesis atomizers, and on a low wattage setup, in which I dripped into a 510 dripping atomizer from about 7 watts to 10 watts. Now on a high wattage setup, I light apples on the inhale with like the strong buzz of like sour green apples on the exhale. It definitely tastes like exactly like that of a apple martini, or you know those like sour stripe like green apple candy that you can pick up at the grocers. Tastes exactly like that. Throat hit for this e-liquid is really nice and strong, as it gave this really strong kick at the back of the throat. However, there was no like horsey feeling after vaping it. On a low wattage setup, pretty much the same flavor profile as that of a high wattage setup, except personally I found that it tastes just a tad bit sweeter on a low wattage device than a high wattage one. So next up is Tropic Freeze. Now Tropic Freeze is described as peach and pineapple menthol. So I currently have mine in my sinuses with a 0.8 ohms coil and 3 to 5 straw mash. So here goes. So you get great clouds once again. Now in a high wattage setup, I had light peaches on the inhale with like equal parts of like peaches and pineapples on the exhale. The peaches and pineapples come off like mixed right together from like the start to the mid of the exhale, and it's only right at the end in which it's like chased down by this really nice, really clean, strong menthol flavor. It's not quite a candied like peach or pineapple per se, but to me I found that it tastes more like that of a canned peach or like a canned pineapple. Huge thumbs up for this e-liquid, as I find myself reaching for this e-juice quite a fair bit amongst all of these 5. Throat hit for this e-liquid is once again really nice and strong, as there was this really great kick at the back of the throat. However, there was no like horsey feeling after vaping it. On a low wattage setup, once again the same flavor profile as that of a high wattage one, except everything came together like much sweeter, similar to that of Apple Pucker. So next up is Blue Magic. Now Blue Magic is described as blue raspberry with a very slight refreshing chill. So I currently have mine in my steam turbine with a dual coil setup at 0.7 ohms and 3 to 5 straw mash. To get great clouds once again. Now in a high wattage setup, I had light blue raspberries on the inhale with this strong blue raspberry flavor on the exhale. It starts, so in my opinion, this blue raspberry kind of like starts off and ends at the mid of the vape, and it's only right at the mid to like the end of the exhale, in which you kind of get this subtle coolness of like menthol that kind of like comes off as a background flavor to this blue raspberry. It's really true to that of like an actual blue raspberry candy per se, or even if you've taken like one of those sports strings and there's a blue raspberry flavor, it tastes exactly like that, which is a really nice flavor in my opinion. Throat hit for this e-liquid I found to be just a tad bit milder than like Apple Pucker and Tropic Freeze on a low wattage setup. Once again, it tastes exactly the same as that of a high wattage setup, except I found it to be just a tad bit mild, and because of that, I kind of found Blue Magic to be a tad bit yummier on like a high wattage device than a low wattage one. So next up is Xenomorph. Now Xenomorph is described as sweet citrus fruit flavors, candy notes, and a root beer kicker. So I currently have mine in my Blue Tongue Hybrid with a 0.8 ohms coil and 3 to 5 straw mash. So here goes. To get great clouds once again, on a high wattage setup, I had sweetness on the inhale with like grapefruits at the start of the exhale, and I got a sense of like this full-blown sweetness at the mid of the exhale, which later transcended to like this root beer finish. It's really yummy, however it's definitely one that I found really cryptic as I could not quite pinpoint the exact notes that are into this juice. What I could taste the most are the grapefruits, the sweetness, and definitely the root beer kicker. Throat hit for this Eliquid, once again I found to be really similar to that of Blue Magic, as it's not that strong as that of like Tropic Freeze and Apple Pucker. However, you still do feel the kick at the back of the throat, and it's really smooth, so there's no like cozy feeling after vaping it. On a low wattage setup, once again pretty much the same flavor profile as that of a high wattage one, except everything came together like much sweeter. And if you like stronger flavors, definitely vape this on a high wattage one, as the flavors in my opinion were a bit more like subtle on a low wattage device than a high wattage setup. So next up is Ocean Crave. Now Ocean Crave is described as a natural organic cranberry flavor that is described to be similar to that of a vodka cranberry mixer. So I currently have mine in my Pro Tank 2 with a microcoil setup at 1.2 ohms, so here goes. To get great clouds once again for a lower wattage device, on a high wattage setup, I had not much of a flavor on the inhale. However, there was like this subtle, natural kind of like dried cranberry flavor on the exhale. I won't quite classify it as like a cranberry that you find in a vodka cranberry per se, as I've drank a lot of vodka cranberries like in the past, and it definitely does not taste as natural as what I'm getting off this e-juice. Throat hit for this, however, is really nice and strong. It's really similar to that of like Tropic Freeze and Apple Pucker, as there's this huge kick at the back of the throat. However, there was no like cozy feeling after vaping it. On a low wattage setup, it's once again really similar to that of a high wattage setup, except everything is like much more natural per se, as there is this slight earthiness to like the overall vape on a lower wattage device. Personally, I'll say that if you're someone who likes really strong flavors, Ocean Crave would not be for you, as the overall flavor that I got on both like a high wattage setup or a low wattage one, in my opinion, is actually really mild as compared to like the other Hybrid Creation e-juices that I've tried from the company. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Definitely check out Hybrid Creations, check out Tropic Freeze and Apple Pucker, as those two are like definitely my most favorite out of like the entire bunch. So yeah, I guess that's all I have for you guys today. Once again, Happy New Year to all of you. I'm really sorry about like this throat. I'm pretty sure I like partied too hard on like New Year's, and I kind of like massacred my throat like after New Year's Day. So I truly do apologize for the way I sound currently. So yeah, that's all I have for you guys today. Like, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you guys are keen, and I'll definitely see you guys next video. Peace.